tune in to the live stream and just vibe in, or you could dial in to the station. Join the conversation. The Black Love Club is on the radio.
Thank you for tuning in to the Black Love Club. You guys, we're so excited to be back. We've been talking about the real series, real conversations, and we have talked about fatherhood, motherhood, what it looks like to, with marriage and, even running a business. So we had Chef Chad and Karen Cherry here last week, and that was really, really exciting. We enjoyed that conversation, and I've seen a lot of you guys had enjoyed that conversation as well. So if you're tuning in right now, we ask that you will share the live, share it with a friend, let them know that we're on, let them know that we are live. I'm really excited about today's topic. We're going to just basically just be covering everything that we talked about, just recapping it, and I'm really excited about that. And also, Richard Roots is here.
Yes. Yes, you guys, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. We are excited to be concluding. Well, it's kind of bittersweet to be concluding our real conversation series. But today we're just doing a flashback because I think people dropped some real gems.
Yes.
I mean, we had Ariel Folks. We had Marquise Dennis. Yes. We had Karen and Chad Cherry, and
we had a lot of great insight.
Yes. Like as we always say, during the beginning of every series, on every episode, we think we picked the best person in Tulsa, in the city of Tulsa, to talk on all three of those topics, and it was full of so much wisdom.
Yes.
But so today we're just going to be recapping. We're just going to be recapping on what we talked about, or what they talked about, because we didn't do much talking.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you do when you have like experts in the room talking about a specific topic. You don't do much talking. You want to do more listening.
Yes, you listen, and that's what we did. We listened very intently, and it was a lot of stuff you could take with. One of the things that I really enjoyed from Marquise. He kind of got into fatherhood, and he just was basically talking about how as a fault. Well, he got a little into not fatherhood. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it husbandhood right now. But he kind of got into talking about vulnerability and stuff like that, and just how when a man is vulnerable with his wife, what that does, and that is a true thing. I think a lot of times when you're vulnerable with me about certain things like that you're going through, it allows me as your wife is just to basically to be there for you. I know what I can do, Right. If there's something I could do, I can help to relieve you. So that was the one thing that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to really understand our roles and understand each other. Like they say, men are from Venus, women are from Mars. I'm probably mixing it up, but y'all get the idea. But I think that's why it's important for us to understand that, because men hate being vulnerable. Oh, yeah. But what's funny is we have an expert teaching us that vulnerability is like an on switch for a woman. Yeah. She feels secure when her man is vulnerable to her. While on the contrary, men, we hate being vulnerable. I mean, you tell us to be vulnerable, and we like little kids at that, because not only that, it's just like it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard for a man to express himself because we're not. It kind of beats against the grain because we're raised to not be vulnerable. So when we get married, we find out that a woman is looking for us to be vulnerable. It's like, nah, you start hearing those voices, man, toughen up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times it's because as men, you're taught to, growing up, not to cry, not to show emotion. Right. So all those things get bottled down, and then you're taught to give strong face all the time, which I believe it is good to give strong face, right? Mm-hmm. I do believe it's good to give a strong face, because in a marriage, if I feel like you falling apart, look, we both can be falling apart, and it'll discourage me. But there are moments where it's like, it's not that you are saying, hey, I don't have it, but it's saying, hey, right now I'm going through a difficult moment. Then as a woman, I know how to, okay, let me go in, let me make him a meal, let me run a bath, a really nice bath for you. So, just something to relieve you. Like, I know how to step in, I know what to do, I know whether to get the kids quiet, and stuff like that. But if you don't explain that you're stressing and that you're going through this because you're trying to keep a straight face, then look, we're going on. We're just gonna keep going on. But thank you everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to Mickey Minnie. She's always in the comments.
Shout out Mickey Minnie.
Yes, thank you. I see Dominic's in the room as well. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in, share it and different things like that. I'm really enjoy having your comments. I really enjoy everything, the communication. I think that's what really makes this show really, really great.
Yes. The club is only as good as its club members. So Thank you guys for keeping the club jumping. Mickey Minnie said it's bad to keep all that stuff in. And that is so true. I want to add value to that because Marquise Dennis said so much. He said a mouthful. So just a disclaimer as well. We're not saying dump everything on your wives. That's not what we're saying. That's not what he said. He also talked, in fact, before that, he talked about the importance of having more than one friend so that you won't have a mental overload on one friend. So you want to, men, it's important for us to be vulnerable to other men as well. And then we go, like he said, later on that night, you go home and you be vulnerable with your wife, but you don't want to pour everything on this woman because if you pour everything out on her, then she starts feeling like insecure. It's a fine balance because just imagine every day you're coming home and you're like talking about how your job sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's like now, dang, should I be considering how we're gonna pay the bills because this man is complaining every day. He has a problem with everything. But when you have some men to confide in, then that changes everything. Yeah. And even as he said that, I thought about it. A lot of us today, especially today, we want to call ourselves kings. But a lot of people don't know that all kings had counsel men. They had men that they seek counsel in. They didn't, they confided in wise men. They didn't just make decisions by themselves. And I think that's what we have to get away from. We need to get away from thinking that what makes me a man is the fact that I can make the decisions by myself.
I think that is true. Just kind of get into some of the comments because y'all are giving some good things. Ariel, thank you for tuning in. And we're going to be getting into what Ariel talked about too because Ariel came on the show. She gave some really, really great insight on motherhood. We're going to be talking about that. But Ariel says, I hear it even now with some parents at the park with their sons. Suck it up. It's crazy, but to imagine how difficult that would have to be to redo what you've learned your whole life. It can happen, but you ahead. Sorry, look, I'm reading wrong. But you have to be ahead to be intentional about making the decision to do so, which is really, really true. It's like I hear that. I definitely hear it. I heard it my whole life. But as a man, just like even with women, there's a lot of things that we do that we realize, hey, you know what, that's kind of toxic. We learned it. But at the same time, we have to figure out how to learn it. That's one thing I tell my husband. I say, well, give me grace because I've been like this my whole life, right? So, like, I'm trying to get better, but just in the same thing, I give him grace to open up and allow him to open up, and now he don't cry me a river or anything. No Justin Timberlake in here, but
it's still hard. Time, she does create this space, but it's still hard.
Yeah. So, but I love that because even if you don't come to me, sometimes you'll go to one of your friends and you'll open up. But there's certain things that he'll come to me about. Then there's certain things that he wouldn't even come to me about. He'll just go to a friend or something like that. Somebody that he trusts. Versus coming to me because it's like my wife don't have to know these things, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, Mickey Minnie says he has a interesting question. She said, "Just curious, just curious as to how that will work if in a marriage if he has two wives.
That is a good question, and I'm happy you asked that because we're gonna have a guest that's gonna come in and talk about polygamy. We're gonna have the polygamy monogamy conversation. I may have said it wrong. People say it's different ways to say it, but we're gonna have that conversation on the show maybe maybe next month. But we're gonna have that conversation too. But I mean, that's a good question though. How do you balance? How do you make two women feel like they are important when it comes to vulnerability when you have, two wives?
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I have one wife. I love my one wife. So I wouldn't be the one to answer that. But I mean, that is a good question.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't know how you would do that. I mean, I guess they would probably have like a family conversation because you're talking to both of them, right? So wouldn't it make sense to just have like a family conversation, right?
Yep.
It's like a family meeting. Like, hey, this is what's going on, right? Just come, everybody sit down. We gotta have a talk. Get all your wives. Let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ariel says that's good. I think it's also important to note that women/wives have to have the ability to create this. Ooh, there you go. Ability to create this space for the man to feel comfortable enough to open up. That is it. That is it. You have to have that. You gotta have that grumble spirit in you.
Yeah, and you can't tell him. You can't tell him, man, stop whining. Yeah. You can't tell him he nagging. Oh, definitely don't tell him, man, he nagging. Yes. Don't tell him suck it up. Somebody said suck it up earlier in the comment. They say that's what we tell him, suck it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't say suck it up. You can't tell him he sound like a word that I can't say on the radio. You got to make him feel like making a man feel comfortable is like it's more than just listening. Mm-hmm. It's you're actively listening. You're being intentional about listening without waiting to respond. Because I know we do that a lot. And that goes for both men and women. Listen, but don't listen to respond. Listen to figure out what they're trying to relate. Mm-hmm. If you're doing that, then your husband will come to you more. I'm not gonna say that he's just gonna all of a sudden become easy. No, it's not, because I mean, you got to think we've been pushing against the grain for years. For years we've been, dealing with the suck it up, and even within how we talk to ourselves.
Yeah. And I think one thing, as wives, if a wife is listening and say, I want my husband to be more vulnerable with everything. I think there's different ways you can do it. I feel like one, it's inwardly how you respond to him when he's going through something, setting the atmosphere in your home, a home of peace, having it just the house clean and different things like that, especially, if you're at home, but just, I mean, if you ain't got no kids, the house should stay clean, like really clean, right? But it's like just having that home, just nice, if you come home from a long day, just say if both of you work, because a lot of times both people work, right? So if both of you work, I think a lot of times prepping meals will be really easy. So something you could just drop in the oven, having that meal prepared for him, just making him feel like really like king,
Mm-hmm.
He start feeling like king, he feels good. And then that's just like he can feel more comfortable. He knows that you're providing that peace. He feels more relaxed versus if it's all chaotic, then how can he give it? Right. And then also it's just even how you respond to him when he talks about other things. If you're always just kind of like, well, I don't know, you got to do it, just like really loud and stuff like that, then it's like, dang, I don't even know if I could tell her anything because I'm already down. I don't want to turn into an argument and different things like that. So I think we have to be mindful of those things.
Right. That's good, because if vulnerability is what you want, then you need to create a space where you can actually get what you want. Yeah. That reminds me of what Ariel Folk said, which was golden. I asked her, about her plan, her plan to upkeep the home and everything. I asked her, does it ever get like tiring to you, just doing the same thing over and over and over? Does it ever get hard? Does it ever feel like, a moment in your life in that routine, you feel like, you know what, I'm tired of this. And she said, honestly, no. And I was reading a book that kind of, add value to her response. Her response was, she has a system that she has that she does, and she don't really even think about it. She just does it.
Yeah.
And in this book I was reading, it was talking about creating a machine. A machine is just creating a system that operates without you being there. So when you create a system, it's so simple that it's kind of hard for you not to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a struggle. It's not hard.
Yeah.
But just the same way,
it becomes a habit.
it becomes a habit, right? And habits determine who you are.
Yeah.
So once you get in a 30-day routine, after that, I mean, it's you now.
Yeah, it's easy. It's just kind of like, I think one of the things a lot of people ask us about, when you became vegan and different things like that. So it just was like, it was a hard thing in the beginning, not being able to stop at the McDonald's or stuff and like that, it just was like really hard not to get that Popeyes and stuff like that. But eventually over time, that's when it became easy. Like over time, it just became super easy for us. And
right, people like, is it hard? Is it hard? No, hard.
No,
I don't even think about it. It's a way of life.
Yeah, so I think that was like a big thing. But it's just like anything. It said it takes 21 days to form a habit. And it'll get you. I'm still trying to form a habit of getting up early, y'all, but it's hard. I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, once you create that habit, now it's who you are. So I mean, I hope that's encouragement for anybody who went through the series and say, man, I need to change. There are some things that I need to do that I know I need to do for the betterment of me, my kids, and my spouse. Yeah. If that is you, then just know that once you create that system, once you create that habit, and like she said, 21, I've heard 30 days. I would challenge you, just do it, just stick with 30. Because even if it is 21 days, then if you do it in 30 days, then it's cemented.
Yeah.
But once you just come up with the system, write the idea of who it is that you want to be, and who it is that your family needs. Write that down. Write you a plan on how you're going to become that person. And once you get that plan, let it be a machine. Let it be something that you do every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
After 30 days, you don't even have to count anymore, because after 30 days, it's who you are now.
It's easy. It's definitely very easy.
Right.
And I just want to let me just give you a little extra, because look, I got this new assistant. And I think she free. I don't think I pay for her, but she called ChatGPT, and it's really, really good. ChatGPT is like, really, honestly, is really great. Don't get caught up with the AI. I don't know. I might get a robot one day. I don't know. I think I already would have been against it, but I might get a robot one day, because I'm like, what, this is kind of easy. But what I was saying is that ChatGPT, and just basically, you can basically have ChatGPT to plan out your day. You let it know everything that you need to accomplish, the type of person, what you want to accomplish, everything by, different things like that. And then it will literally plan out your whole day for you, step by step. And then it'll be actually, do you want me to incorporate other things, or incorporate a lunch menu or something like that? Like, I don't know. It's out here saving lives, and I'm just saying, ChatGPT can definitely help you with that. And, you just got to stick to it. She'll put it up there. She'll get it for you. You copy and paste it, put it on your schedule, and just do it. So, I don't know. I'm just saying, ChatGPT is pretty awesome, right?
Yeah. Hey, she sounds like a second wife to me. I'm just saying.
Look, hey, I'll take it. Like, it's like, I think ChatGPT is like the perfect assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and it definitely can help us with our lives, managing things and different things like that. Also, I just want to say thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. I'm really excited about today's. We've been just recapping all of the conversations that we talked about, the real conversations that we have had, and I'm really excited about that, y'all. Just because the next year, New Year, 2025, is going to be really phenomenal. But just to talk about one thing that Dennis said, Marquise Dennis said, he talked about briefly about the importance of having multiple friends. Well, him and Christian have both talked about it,
Right.
and it was really good. The importance, and I think it's always really good because he was talking about it from a man's point of view, but I think also from a woman's point of view, it's really good for us too. Because look, I like at this age, at this age that we're in, it's really hard for me as a mom at this age. Well, how old am I? I'm 34, right? I just made 34 the other day.
Yeah, you got to get used to saying that now.
I literally just made 34 the other day on the 10th, which I was very thankful for. We were moving. I said I'd take that as the perfect gift. If there was a gift, I would take it. Right?
I know, yeah.
So we moved, and I'm really excited about that. But at this age, it's really hard for me to make friends, There's a lot of things that keep me from making a friend sometimes. Sometimes I have kids. I have a husband. So it's like I got to have the right friend in my circle, and he spoke about that and different things like that. And Ariel actually kind of spoke a little bit. We talked about that as well, about friends and the type of friends that you have and stuff like that. But it's like those things keep me from making friends. And it's just like, shout out to the Black Moms of Tulsa group. If you're in Tulsa and you need some friends, go ahead and join that group because it's really some awesome women. I just wanted to put that in there. And if you're not in Tulsa, go ahead and find a group in your hometown where you're at and, try to captivate some relationships like that. Because I've met some really great people.
Or you can be the one to make the group if you don't have one.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but he talked about that, and definitely from a man's point of view. I want you to talk about that from the man's point of view, but as a woman, I was like, it's so true because I can't keep dumping on just that one friend, But also, I'm the type of person that I hold everything in, so it's like hard for me to dump. Like I probably will never tell you anything until after I have overcame it, And but that's just me. But I do try to get better, try to be a little more vulnerable because, I could be a little closed off, But from a man's point of view, tell me how that conversation changed.
I would say that's real. That's real. Coming from his mouth, it's just like it really puts you in a position where you really think about what was being said. Emotional dumping is real. Because if this person says that they're your friend, and they truly are your friend, when you're going through something, that means that they're going through something. They feel it. I feel it. Not saying that I don't want you to call me and tell me what you're going through. I want that. But what happens when you're going through a lot because you are a serial entrepreneur, and you're newly married, and I'm a serial entrepreneur myself, and I'm married and I have kids, and you're pouring everything out on me. I'm feeling that because if I said I'm your friend, I'm really your friend, and I'm trying to think about how, like, I'm not the the traditional person that I would say the traditional Christian that says I'm gonna pray for you. No, that's not me. If you come to me and you tell me, your engine just went out on you when you were delivering something important, I'm like, okay, what can I do to help him? Why I'm praying for you. I'm still going to be praying, but I'm trying to figure out what can I do to help you. So if you have real friends like that, I can understand when Christians say, this is called emotional dumping, because it really could become a problem in every aspect, financially, spiritually. You could throw this person off financially, spiritually, and physically. Mentally, you could throw this person off by just pouring so much into them. So it is important to have a lot of friends that who say, man, if you need somebody to talk to, call me. Yeah. If somebody says that, take them up on that offer. Especially, I mean, only, if they ain't known for gossiping. You know what I'm saying? They known for gossiping, then you're going to be even more emotionally destroyed after you finish talking to them because now everybody else know your business.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want that. That ain't no friend. That's a frenemy.
Yes, definitely. And also, I just want to quickly shout out, because Dominic, he was on. I just want to quickly shout out. He has a podcast, Toxic Masculinity.
Yeah, shout out to Toxic Masculinity.
Yes, TMI. That's the podcast that they have. So definitely check them out. They're really funny. They're a funny group of guys. They're really funny. So definitely check them out. It's on YouTube and. Yeah, he's on YouTube, so yeah, definitely check him out.
Yeah, that podcast is really good. If you're into like those real talk conversations, they're going to give it to you real. Yeah. And I don't think they don't have to have filters like we do. So
yeah, they don't.
They're going to give it real uncut as well.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of, put the camera on me, y'all. So we just finished up the Real Talk series, but we are about to go into grown folks conversations.
Yeah.
And we are ready to have those conversations. So it's not gonna be like the grown folks conversation you're thinking it's gonna be. It's called grown folks conversation because these are hard conversations that only we feel like mature adults will be willing to have.
Yeah.
It's conversations that we have to have. These are hard conversations that immature or kids wouldn't necessarily understand. So, I mean, we have those conversations, those talks lined up for you guys, and we're ready. So stay tuned. Be ready to share live. Be ready to call in. Be ready to comment, but be ready.
Yes, definitely. We love your engagement and everything. Now, I kind of want to go into Ariel said, shoot. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But going into more of the conversation with Ariel, she gave a lot of good insight. I think a lot of times what people don't discuss a lot of times is how motherhood changes you, right?
Yeah.
It changes you. And we spoke about that, and it was really, really good, and it was really, really insightful. And it's always good to hear when you hear another mom that she's went through the same thing that you've went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
That she struggled with that. I think even this summer we talked about just postpartum depression and the postpartum rage and different things like that.
Right.
When you hear that you went through all of these different things, and there's other moms out here going through it, it changes you. It changes you, And I really enjoyed that conversation with Ariel because she gave, she was real, and I think everybody loved her.
Yeah.
They really, really loved her. When Ariel she's like the most lovable person. Like, I don't think that if somebody tells me something bad about her, I don't know if I like you.
Yeah. I don't know if I can trust you.
Good person, because she's like the sweetest. She's really the sweetest person in the world. But just she was just talking about how basically she had to navigate life as a mother, and how one is just phenomenal because sometimes I think navigate life as a mother, but she made a whole group to, hey, there might be other moms dealing with the same thing, so let me make a group. And she made a group on Facebook. That's the Black Moms. It's also a Facebook page. And there, I want to tell you, this page is really awesome because there's so many different resources, so many people that you might not think about. She posts things all the time, free events for the kids. But I love that she did that because she was able to build a community. And as moms, that's what we really need. We really need that community. And she was able to go in and really give that, and not just give that to herself. She could have went and found, a mom group. But she talked about one of the things that it was hard for her as a mom to find, Black moms in these groups. And in Tulsa, when I came here, I dealt with that. I definitely dealt with that, and I'm happy she was able to relate to that as well, because as a Black mom, we go through so many different things. When we think about it, it's like the conversations we have with our sons about how they address a police officer, let's say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be the same conversation that white mother would have with her kids. Like, she's not going to have that conversation. She probably won't have a conversation. They probably will just be singing a 911 song. If you're in trouble, call 911, you know? But our conversation is so different. So even for her to cultivate a community of women who have the same mind, who, you know, are most likely are going to experience the same things, you know? And it's just like, one is phenomenal. So thank you. Hats off to you for making that community, making that safe space. And, you know, what you got to say about it?
I think that conversation would have went a whole lot different in the white household. Just being real.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you are a real citizen and the police officers work for you. They're here to protect and serve you. So, you know, if I was a white man, you know, I would tell my son, when the police come, make sure he knows your rights. But as a black father, I know I can't tell him, make sure he knows your rights.
Yeah.
Make sure, first and foremost, make sure that the way that you are talking isn't threatening to him.
Yeah.
Because when he sees you, he's already afraid of you. He's already on high alert. So make sure that everything that you do is subtle, and make sure you announce everything that you do. You know, and I'm happy you did bring that up, because though this is not the topic, it needs to be discussed. Because, you know, just some of my friends, you know, I would have thought, you know, that they knew about these things, you know, but they did not. You know, when the police comes, you know, they're looking for an excuse. And that's not always the case. I'm not trying to down police officers. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the case, and we have to prepare for the worst because of who we are.
Yeah.
And that's just real.
Yeah, that's true, you know. But even our conversations, you know, I'm just thinking, when she brought that up, I was like, I wish I could have brought all this up then, but we only have an hour. But even just the conversation that we have with our daughters, like, I was reading something the other day, and it was just saying how over-sexualized young black girls are, right? So even just being in a safe space where we can just kind of share, you know, our thoughts and different things like that. Like, there was like a post, someone was talking about press-on nails or acrylic nails or different things like that. And in my thoughts, when I think about nails and stuff, it's just kind of like, well, you know, how would my daughter be viewed? You know, I don't want her to be viewed, because as a young black girl, people already look at you different, because one, we're shapely, you know, and some of us can be more shapely than others. So, and especially sometimes in our community, which was very horrible, if a child was shapely, she was automatically assumed fast. But, you know, thankfully, this is a group of moms who think different. We're thinking different. We're thinking different for our kids, right? And it's like, no, well, you know, we can be that ear, we can be that guidance to somebody, and you know, it's just those simple things, right? Just those simple things that we can talk about, you know, even with hair, you know, just, you know, what's the best salon? Because I can go ask that on the Bixby Moms page. Like, what? They gonna send me to some multicultural salon that ain't got no black stylists in there, just, you know, some people that say they can't do our hair, right? You know, like, nah, I want to go to the girl in the hood. Where's she at, right? That's who I need to do my hair, right? But it's just, we have those things. Like, you can't relate to that because you're not a woman.
That's true.
But, you know, even as a man, if there was a man's group, you probably wouldn't, a white man's group wouldn't, you know, necessarily benefit you in no type of way, right? Like, it'd be like, what? Like, they don't... Y'all, it'd be weird. Y'all know it'd be weird when when you're having those conversations.
In some ways they could benefit, but it'll be more beneficial to find, you know, a group of people who, you know, have a similar culture.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
and that way we get straight to the point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And you're never second guessing. You
Yeah.
know? You know, one of the things I had went to when I first came out here, there was a group. It was like a homeschooling group, and I did it, and I went. And this is why it's so amazing that Ariel made this group. I went to this group. It was a white group. I was like the only black person there. I brought my kids, and we were like the only people at the park, right? With the group, meeting the group.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them, you know, I was kind of like looking around just to make sure that was them. None of them came to me, and none of them said, hey, are you looking for the group? You know, it was just like, I kind of walked up to like it was like 15 minutes. I kind of walked up to one of the moms and I was like, "Hey, is this the group?" She was like, "Oh, I was wondering if you were here with the group. Then why didn't you never approach me? Why didn't you ask me?" But I'm pretty sure if there was a white mom, you probably would say, "Hey, are you with the group?" And that rubbed me the wrong way, and I did not enjoy that time. I stayed there because my kids was there and they were having fun, but I just was like, never again.
And sometimes they do have good intentions, but I mean, it's just the reality of the way things is. Like when you go to a large space, you're gonna always see black people flocking together and white people flocking together. It doesn't necessarily mean they hate white people, and it don't mean that black people hate. Well, it don't mean that black people hate white people. It doesn't mean that white people hate black people. It's just friends. That's how friends connect. Friends they connect based off of what they have in common. We could just, like, if you're into gaming, the gamers are gonna hang out, together. But it's in the same way when we moved into a predominantly white area, 4 years ago. The neighbors, we would see the neighbors would greet each other and hug each other like this is their first time ever seeing each other. But when it came to us, they never greeted us, So I'm not gonna say what was said. I see your face. I'm not gonna say what was said, but I think it's because of a lot of cultural differences. It makes it a little bit harder for us to.
Yeah,
cling.
you can give them a little benefit of the doubt, some of them, but sometimes it's just because they don't want to approach us. But Ariel, she made a good point to one of the things I said. She said, "That's so true. They are. It's crazy black girls can't wear or do the same things white girls can. That's crazy to think about, but it's how the world has conditioned the world to think. Yeah, that's true. We can't, just like, I mean, it get really crazy out here when you really, see these things, especially now that we have this social media thing. You can see a lot more and you can read these comments and you can really see what people think. But definitely, our young girls are way over sexualized a lot than, our counterparts. But I think that's one of the great things about having a group for us, by us, for us, right? Well, for us, by us, that was FUBU, right?
Yeah, bring that back.
So, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna bring it back.
No, shoot. I mean, we need to buy black. I can't wait. One of our friends is coming out with a new clothing line, and I think the biggest flex is to buy black.
Yes.
So when it comes out, y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see it.
Brand new, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be acting brand new. I'm gonna look brand new. I'm gonna smell brand new. I'm gonna act brand new. I'm gonna wear that new look. I'm ready to shout out already, but I'm gonna hold my peace because I'm waiting for my new pieces to come.
Ariel said, "Shout out to FUBU."
Shout out to FUBU.
Yes. For us, by us. You definitely have to. You got to do that. You got to.
Speaking of shout out to Bree and Travis. Bree and Travis are some more club members who have also been on the show. They are they are relationship coaches, and we are so happy for them as they celebrate the new life of their daughter.
Yes, they just.
So shout out to them. We can't wait to see the new addition to the family.
Yes, congratulations to them, and just just prayers for like a great recovery for the mom, and even just that balance. Getting back into balance of adding that new one to the mix because it gets different.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we can do to provide comfort for them right now in this time.
Yeah, and just so they can
adjust.
Adjust because it's a lot when you got to think about food. Oh gosh, as the mom. So yeah, but I'm so excited for them. They just had their new baby. And what I was about to say, because you snatched the thought right out my head. When you said that, you snatched
when you
thought.
said shout out, I was like, I can't forget my boy Travis and Bree. They congratulations, man.
Yes, Ebony says we love healthy births. Yes, and Ebony, she's a doula. She is a doula, you guys. And I think she would probably. I never had her as a doula because I haven't had any kids yet. Well, not yet, but
No,
as of recent.
yeah, we're about to have some more kids. That's what
As of
she's trying to
recent.
say.
But she's a doula, y'all. She's a doula. And
Ebony does it all. Ebony's a chef. She's an ordained minister. She's a doula too. I mean, dang, she does everything.
Yes. But so yeah, getting back onto the topic, we are definitely recapping the Real Conversation series that we did. So far, we have talked about what we talked about with Marquise Dennis, with Real Fatherhood. We have dived into Real Motherhood that we talked about with Ariel, the founder of Black Moms of Tulsa. And now we're going to just dive into the last section we talked about was like basically real love, but love and business,
Talking
right?
about the real love.
Yeah.
You know what? So yeah, love and business. That was actually all of them were my favorite. All three of them. I mean, it was just packed with gems.
Yes.
But so Chad and Karen.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard that story, go back and listen to that story. I mean, come on. I mean, that's like they close it off with real love. I mean, that's the love that any man, speaking from a man's perspective, that's the love that any man will want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't help but think like, how?
Yeah.
Just to
that
give
was some real love.
Yeah, just to give a recap, like they were homeless twice.
Yeah.
You know, and this was all to support Chad's business idea.
Yeah.
You know, which now let me just fast forward. If you see him now, you would not pair this story up with him. I mean, now he has chef culture that this is a multi-state business.
Yeah.
He's partnered with chefs all over America, you know, and his business is doing good. And his wife is currently the CEO of NLC and New Leaders Council, and they have leaders, government officials all over America. So when you hear that story, they're humble too. So when you go back and listen, you probably won't hear them break it down the same way I just did, because they're both humble people, but they went through a whole lot. And I guess this is why they're humble, you know, because of what they've been through, you know. But I mean, if you're listening and you know them, you know what I'm saying is true, that they are the coolest people that you can ever meet. You know, we went to a gathering at their house, and a man walked in. I don't know if you saw that. A man walked in from the street, and he was looking for somebody, and it was like, oh, just come in and eat. You know, maybe she'll come here. Yes. But the person didn't even he was at the wrong house, but they would just like walk him in this complete stranger in. So when you hear them say things like, you know, they are real people, they really are. You know, but I'm not going to talk too much because I could talk all day about you know, that, because I mean that was just beautiful.
Yeah. And another great thing, I think it's like really amazing, because she not only was just down for him, like this was like that real ride or die type relationship, okay? This
all
was
I need in my life is
you know, like this was really like, you know, really, you know, we don't see that no more. A lot of people are saying they don't want, you know, and that was one of the questions I asked. I was like, what do you say to the young ladies who say they don't want the struggle love? I mean, not everybody, they're hearing that sprinkle, get you a high value man, but there's problems with that, you guys. And what do you say to people who that's what their thoughts are, you know? And they gave a really great response about, you know, was it struggle love? Yes. Would she do it again? Yes. And it just was like, they explained it as like, well, if, you know, one thing Chef Chad said, he said that, hey, you know, if there is no like friction, if there is no, you know, if you ain't getting your hands dirty, then there's not basically a great reward to that, right?
Right.
Go back and listen to it, because I definitely didn't say it the way he said it. But definitely that is the truth. Like when you go through things, it makes your foundation so much stronger. You know what you're standing on. It's like, you know that, right? And he's like, you know that this person is for you, because half all the things that you have been with, been through. So it's like, that was just one that was really beautiful to see, because even I asked Karen, I said, how was it you as a woman was able to stick through that? How could you, like what was going through your mind? And I know back then, a lot of people, that's how the music was going. Like, you stick by that man, and but now today it's like a lot different.
Yeah, F nigga free.
Yes, it's getting crazy,
yeah.
right? And but it just is beautiful to see that, hey, you know what, that love still exists. Yeah. And it's still here, and it's going strong, right?
The thing is, I think there's a Madea movie. I think it was a Madea movie where, this woman left her man before he got rich.
Oh, that was a... What is it?
It had to be a Madea movie, right?
It is. It's like it's the one with Taraji. Y'all know it. Put it in the chat. It's Alimony or something like that.
I can't even tell you the name of it because I watched it because you was watching it. But I mean, it has some truth to it though. Mm-hmm. Like when you look at Chad's situation, Chad has been with his wife for a long time, and I can only project that it's going to be for many more years. It's going to be till death do us part, because she has a value that's unmatched because of what they went through.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine when a woman tries to come into a man's life when he's already successful. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just saying, does it have that same strength?
Acrimony.
Does it have the same power as, a woman who went through the mud with you? You know what I'm saying? When another man comes, like when a man is already in his world, and a woman comes in, now when he's talking to you, it's like an interview process. And should it?
Yeah.
Should it? Like, how do I know that you're not here for my money? Now, even for the women who are, with a man and he has this amazing vision to, be wealthy, and you're thinking right now, you know what, should I stay with him? I'm going to tell you this way. If you leave, the chances of him being successful will go up. Because the way the man minds work is, the way a real man's mind work is when people hate on him, it becomes fuel. Yeah. So it's like, dang, she didn't believe in me. Well, I'm going to do it to prove her wrong. Mm-hmm. And at this point, you want to consider, and I'm not saying be there for the money. I'm just saying, look at Chad and Karen's situation. Yeah. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And now they have a beautiful family. They just got a beautiful home downtown.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out the address then.
Sometimes you got to fight. I know what she said. Right? I'm probably giving out too much information.
They just got a brand new GMC truck. Nah, they didn't. I'm just saying. But it's just
they got a Tesla. Somebody
just putting everything out. Oh my gosh. But yeah, on Ariel had said Acrimony. Acrimony was the movie. Yes, that is. I said alimony. Alimony.
But shout out to that dude though, because you know what? He could have been like a jerk, but he took care of that woman though. He was like,
what, that was Idris Elba?
I don't remember who the actor was. I just remember he was giving her money.
But I think she didn't take the money. I think he wanted to give the money, and then she was like, no, I didn't want it, or something like that. Like, she was just too proud to take it or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to go watch it again. Maybe we can watch it.
But that was real, though. I can't even cap, that was real, though, because she was there with him from the process, even though the court wouldn't recognize it as, him owing her money, which is real because he didn't start making it until after the divorce, but she was there for the process.
Yeah.
But if you're going to stick that through it, her friends had talked her out of that, didn't it? Yeah, her friends. Oh, that hit so close to home.
Watch your friends.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to be.
Yeah, her friends talked her out of that, man, and she went the rest of her life. Shoot, I think they supposed to do it like a part 2, huh? I think they did it. I don't know. It was probably fake where they had her like popping out the water.
No, I think that was definitely fake. I think it was over. I don't think Tyler Perry.
Bruh,
that was a good Tyler Perry movie. Normally,
they did a whole trailer.
Do Yeah, because they
Of
got
a
all
fake
those
movie.
ones. Yeah, normally Tyler Perry does. He do have some really good movies. I think his storylines be somewhat good, right? But they say he steal it from people allegedly. But hopefully that's not the case.
I want to see Tyler Perry do a movie where he just like showing black love for real, like without the drama, because it's like I could just see a lot of people saying this is why I'm not getting married. Mm-hmm. Again, I need to check.
It be like stuff like that don't really be happening.
Yeah, for real. Everybody's like, all these women are leaving these dark skinned men and then they're going with the light skinned men because all the dark skinned men are like terrible. Oh, come on now, we gotta connect the dots. We gotta connect the dots now,
Because I feel like the dark skinned men are the better. I don't know. Type in the chat if you feel that way.
I don't have no say in this because I'm dark skinned. I'm gonna say.
I don't know. I'm crazy.
Darker the berry, sweeter the juice. But.
But yeah, no, I Tyler Perry definitely does need to make a real black love. I don't know if he did. Let me know because I haven't seen it. But because it just don't be like that. It's always like something crazy. Like she leave the rich man for like a bus driver. Like, girl, that's not happening. Like.
Yeah, Mickey Minnie said a happily ever after type movie. Yes, come on, can we vote? Can we petition for that? Come on, Tyler Perry, you from New Orleans, man. We don't need no more of that.
Yeah, we do. We need like a really
give us
good
some happy couples.
Movie. Because like the last movie he made with that girl, I think that was a movie, and I don't know. Well, yeah, then it was that movie that was a movie with Kelly Rowland, and that was like crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was just he.
That stuff be
an interesting character.
It'd be hard to watch honestly because we don't just have the Black Love Club because we just need something to do. Like, we really love strong marriages, and we know they exist.
Yeah.
But people who aren't married, most people who aren't married don't know they exist. It's a fantasy to them. And I think Tyler Perry feeds that mindset, with these movies.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody happy.
Yeah.
Heck, make Madea happy. Get it. Well, never mind. Never mind.
That'll be a comedy special, right? But no. But yeah, so the show with Karen and Chad was really, really good. I always feel weird calling her Karen. I really want to say Miss Karen, but I know she'll hate that. But yeah, that was a really awesome show because it just really solidified just how you stand by your man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love that. You stand by him and now look at them, Just now look at them, and they're doing well. I wish them, more success than what they already have. And it's just, I think that's...
You know what I think I pulled from that? One thing, it was so quick when they said it, but I think it was one of the most powerful things they said. They were friends first.
Yeah, friends.
They were friends first. So when the transition into a relationship was so smooth that they had to like let each other know that this what was going on. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how we were. We were friends first, and as we transitioned into a relationship, like it was just like everybody knew we were in a relationship. But my wife was like, "You gonna ask me?" And I was like, "Well, I gotta ask you. I mean, we together, aren't we?" I started second guessing our situation. I was like, "Why I gotta ask you?" And she was like, "Because I just feel like this always happens with guys. We always just like enter. That shows me too that she's always had like, nice guys that she's been in relationships with. Because she said that always happens where the guy just become they become a thing. So she was like, just ask me.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah.
Will you be my girlfriend? And she liked to tell everybody that I when I told her it was corny,
It was.
but I was pressed in the corner. It was like, how you ask somebody when you already feel like y'all in a relationship already? Like, how do you do that?
You use
I
your
should have
mouth.
asked her to tell me like how do you want me to say it?
You use your mouth. That's it.
I should have said.
No, but seriously, he did ask me, and that was the best decision that he's ever made.
But thank you for speaking for me. But yeah, I concur.
And it was the best decision that I made to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, y'all, but seriously, we had some really
July 1st.
He remembers the date. Yep, it was July 1st, 2011. Yep.
I only remember because it was from wisdom from one of my friends. I bought a lockbox and it was for me, and he told me to set the lockbox to the date that I asked my wife to be my girlfriend. So every time I open that box, I remember the date that we first made it official.
He doesn't have that lockbox anymore, just to let you know.
No, I do. I absolutely
Changed the
do.
code?
No, it's still the same.
Dang, babe, you just let everybody know your password.
Oh yeah, but I changed the code though.
What you just say?
So nobody knows. I didn't say what the box was for though. I did not say what the box was for or where it is. It's not in my house, you guys. It's it's in New Orleans.
He ain't got nothing in it. He ain't got nothing in it. I promise you he don't. Now we just sound like people that just ain't trying to get rough. Nah,
But God rest his soul too. That friend was my that was my first best friend. And I mean he was truly the greatest person in the world. Everyone who knows him knows that this is true. He was the nicest man that you can ever meet. But God rest his soul.
Yes. Well, you guys, I'm really excited. We had a really great conversation with you guys, and as the time is winding down, we talked about 3 great topics. We talked about, well, we recapped 3 great topics: real fatherhood, motherhood, and real love. And we're really excited about our plans for upcoming year, 2025. And we're really gonna just really take off. If you are a married couple and you want to be on the show, hey, DM us, the Black Radio Show, direct message us, let us know. Hey, I would love to be on there, on your show and different things like that, because we want to get some real couples that can really talk about their marriage, and just different things that they do to make it better and different things. Because one, we need people to have real conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We need people to let you know that, look, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's gonna be some struggle, right? And that's okay. Struggle is not a bad thing, because sometimes we think that struggle is a bad thing and it's not. So if you want to be on the show, let us know.
Join the club. Let the world know that black love still exists.
It definitely does, And I want to thank everybody for just coming in, tuning in. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for everything. Thank you for shouting us out, because one, like we said, our show is not as great if you're not there, right? Because y'all comments, everything, the interactions definitely helps us, and it helps the show. It helps us. We love that feedback. Everybody loves that feedback, right? And it keeps it alive, right?
Right.
Yeah. So thank you.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time.
Yes, until next time. We'll see you.